This is an Action News JAX Family Focus Special celebrating Black history, past and present. Presented by Publix Supermarkets, First Coast YMCA, and First Florida Credit Union.
I truly embody the importance of Black history.
Illuminating Jacksonville's rich Black history. We pause to celebrate the strides, achievements, and legacies engraved in our community and our nation's blueprint.
Lift every voice and sing.
Honoring 125 years of the soundtrack of freedom and equality.
A deep belief in your own dignity, your own worth, and your own somebodyness.
And a standard of Black pride.
We are about excellence, and that's just truly what it's about.
Lift up your hearts. Each new hour holds new chances for new beginnings.
Who are we?
The message on this Black History Month is to keep unity, love, and hope alive.
We're here in Lift Every Voice and Sing Park, celebrating Black History Month, past and present. I'm Tanika Hughes.
And I'm Ben Becker. We're going to take you on a journey of Black history in the River City.
And to introduce you to trailblazers shaping Jacksonville's future. We start by celebrating the 125th anniversary of the Black National Anthem, Lift Every Voice and Sing. It's a song engraved in Jacksonville's history.
It was originally written by Duval native James Weldon Johnson as a poem. Shortly after, it was composed by his brother John Rosamond Johnson into a song.
The lyrics eloquently capture a solemn yet hopeful appeal for the liberty of Black Americans.
It was a poem initially, then it became a song.
Author, educator, and civil rights activist James Weldon Johnson originally wrote Lift Every Voice and Sing as a poem to commemorate President Abraham Lincoln's birthday. His brother John later composed the music, making it the song we know today.
Educators think about James Weldon Johnson. Musicians think about Rosamond Johnson. But together, they did the song Lift Every Voice and Sing.
It had its first audience on February 12, 1900, when it was performed in public by 500 children at Stanton School in Jacksonville, where Johnson was the principal at the time. At the turn of the 20th century, the Johnson brothers' work made national impacts. The NAACP adopted the song and used it as a rallying cry during the civil rights movement of the 1950s and 60s. They even took what they started in the River City and brought it north to New York, coining the phrase Harlem Renaissance.
It is not only sung in the United States, but when I was in Bermuda, they were singing it. When we were in South Africa, they sung the song because, again, it's universal.
The universal impact now on display in two neighborhoods, one in downtown where the James Weldon Johnson Park sits, and in the La Villa community, where the Johnson brothers were born, now home to Lift Every Voice and Sing Park.
Lift Every Voice and Sing was written on Lee Street at the parents' home of the Johnson brothers.
Like, the history of this park is so long and rich and vibrant. La Villa, rich and vibrant.
Half the park is elevated higher than the rest, literally lifted.
From high school classrooms to community events, 17-year-old Jacksonville native Cameron Marshall is a trailblazer in his own right. He's authored a book on financial literacy, and he's combining book and street smarts to empower the next generation of leaders.
Stay focused, do everything with a purpose.
Cameron Marshall has a message for young people. Success is about more than just surviving. It's about thriving by making smart decisions and planning for the future. We sat in as Marshall spoke to students at Ribault Middle School.
You got to establish a team with your parents, your guidance counselors, people like Mr. McKnight, your principal.
The 17-year-old junior at Riverside High has already made a name for himself as a community servant and author. His passion, financial literacy, which is the focus of his book, Street Sense.
What made you decide to write a book, and specifically on financial literacy?
I wanted to help guide my peers and reach the ultimate goal of financial freedom.
Cameron says Street Sense is geared for readers from 12 years old to college, with a particular focus on his high school peers. It covers a lot of ground, including money management, investing, entrepreneurship, and networking. Cameron's journey into financial literacy began early, mentored by his father, an auto broker, and his uncle, a successful entrepreneur who introduced him to the stock market when he was just 8 years old. Now, he's sharing the wealth with children and adults alike, using lessons on finance to not only expand bank accounts, but mindsets.
put yourself in a position today to win tomorrow. So always play the long-term game, and you know, just understand that it's bigger than you. Everything you're doing right now, even in school, everything you're doing that represents you, your family, your legacy.
Cameron is also involved in several school and community organizations, including 5,000 Role Models, Vice Star Academy of Business, Future Business Leaders of America, and is a student representative for DCPS. There was a time the local black community could not get their medical needs met.
But all that changed nearly 125 years ago when Brewster Hospital, not too far from here, was founded and left a lasting legacy.
When you look at the sign, what do you think?
History.
Felisa Atkins knows all about history.
To see where they first started and where they have come.
The old Brewster Hospital building stands at the corner of West Monroe Street and North Davis Street in La Villa. Inside is a museum that takes Atkins back in time.
This is their actual uniform.
Atkins is the vice president of the First Coast Black Nurses Association. Built as a private residence in 1885, it became Brewster's Hospital at the turn of the century. It's because there was no place for African Americans to go for treatment after the Great Fire of 1901. It was also a first-of-its-kind training school for black nurses.
This was the first in the state,
In
right?
the state and the country.
In the country?
Mm-hmm.
This was the first in the country.
Yes.
That's a big legacy.
We represent history.
The original location was on 7th and Jefferson in Springfield until the hospital closed in 1966. In 2005, it was vacant and had fallen into disrepair. The city then moved the building to the corner of its present location.
North Florida Land Trust tells us they're hoping to breathe new life into this building and help preserve some of its history.
Action News JAX first told you in 2019 when it became the headquarters of the nonprofit North Florida Land Trust.
We're in mostly the land preservation business, but really we're in the legacy preservation business.
Allison DeFore is the CEO. The Land Trust renovated much of the building's original floors and design, plus gave the building a facelift with new paint and bathrooms. It's after the city destroyed a lot of older buildings in the La Villa neighborhood for development projects, but this one survived.
Winston Churchill said, "We shape our buildings and then they shape us." This building needs to be preserved as part of the historical matrix of this city.
The Brewster Hospital has come a long way when it started with 18 students and a tuition fee of $1.50. But Atkins says its history is priceless.
I would love for schools to bring their nursing students here to see the history. I would even love, just for, as you're doing right now, to elaborate and show their history. I don't want the Brewster nurses to be lost in history. They should be celebrated.
The home of Jacksonville's Negro National League team got a makeover from the city this month. Mayor Donna Deegan and other city leaders cut the ribbon on James P. Small Park and Hank Aaron Field last month.
1, 2, 3, play ball.
The city spent $10 million to add new turf, dugouts, fencing, and lighting to the 113-year-old baseball field. The Jacksonville Redcaps played here in the late 1930s. The city just made a deal for the Jumbo Shrimp to play 1 game per year on the new field. City leaders hope to eventually have an MLB game played at the stadium. Coming up, a staple for the historic East Side community reopens its doors.
I was blown away. I walked through the door and I was like, whoa.
We talked to the community about what it means for them and how it could be a model for food deserts across the country.
And furthering the legacy of Jacksonville's historically black college and university, we take a look at the history of higher education for black families and how a historic organization is helping students excel.
You're watching an Action News JAX Family Focus special celebrating Black history, past and present. Presented by Public Supermarkets, First Coast YMCA, and First Florida Credit Union.
Now we move to Jacksonville's east side, where the historic grocery store Deb's makes a return after being closed for 14 years.
Action News JAX Nicholas Brooks spoke with a surviving family member associated with the store, which has impacted the community for 90 years.
The Deb's store, now known as The Corner at Deb's Store, was a staple for the East Side community for nearly 100 years. This red brick building at the corner of East 5th Street and Florida Avenue has been home to the Deb's family, which established the store in 1921.
The East Side represented a lot to me and to my family.
Joseph Debs, a surviving family member, told us he closed the store in 2011 after his father, Nicholas Debs, passed away. He said that after the store closed, many people expressed how it left a void in the community.
Had one of the members in that community asked me, where do we now go to get our fresh food, and when are you going to reopen?
That question sparked Joseph Debs to reopen the store in September 2024 with a completely new look. Now he serves as a team advisor.
I was blown away. I walked through the door and I was like, whoa.
People in the community we spoke with said they were amazed to see the revamped grocery store for the first time, especially with the limited grocery shopping options in the area.
I'm proud. I'm just proud of what Deb has done here to even think about bringing it back.
But the store offers more than just groceries. Currently owned by Lift JAX, they now also provide services from ViStar and Goodwill upstairs.
ViStar operates a financial fitness center here, offering financial service education and access to financial services for members of the neighborhood. And Goodwill offers the Good Career Center. So that's all about career and workforce development.
The CEO of Lift JAX, David Garfunkel, says they've worked to maintain the rich history of Deb's. They even have a mini museum of the store.
It served the community for nearly a century. So we're just building on that legacy and refreshing it for the 21st century.
Once inside the grocery store, we took a quick tour.
Sweet potatoes, apples, oranges, fruits and vegetables, beef, pork.
Over half of the store's employees are East Side residents like Monique Presley, who remembers shopping at the store as a child.
I don't think I can put it into words, the feeling that I get when I have people that come here that don't have the means to go to Walmart, but they're able to still find the things that they're looking for.
The Corner at the Deb's store emphasizes their pride in the quality of service that they provide to their customers, which includes offering access to fresh food options in their store at affordable prices.
These people have come from not even essentially having a place to go. We don't want to come here and charge them $7 for a carton of eggs.
The partners of the store say they look forward to continue the Deb's family legacy that began more than 100 years ago.
Journalism has been a means of expression for African Americans since 1827, starting with the Freedom's Journal in New York. During these past 198 years, there have been trailblazers whose work has touched hearts across the country. From Ida B. Wells, W.E.B. Du Bois, Frederick Douglass, and Zora Neale Hurston, their words painted pictures of the reality of what it looked, felt, and even sounded like to be a slave and eventually a free African American in the U.S. Jacksonville is home to the first black college in the state of Florida, Edward Waters University, founded in 1866.
And more than 150 years later, scholarships from the United Negro College Fund can help students excel at HBCUs like EWU. Action News JAX anchor Chandler Morgan talked with students about their success.
I think being a student leader here at Edward Waters University is about service, it's about advocacy, and it's about giving back to the community, 100%.
Academic excellence, advocacy are things that I'm passionate about.
That's Kimberly Holland and Janoy Davis, students at Edward Waters University. Both are extremely involved on campus and dedicated to their community and their academic craft.
I was awarded a full-ride presidential academic scholarship for my studies that cover 4 years of housing, tuition, books, and fees here at Edward Waters University. So that has completely alleviated any costs associated with college, which has been transformational in my life because not only now do I not have to worry about it, but I don't have to worry about student debt in the future.
Scholarships for me has alleviated the financial burden that I had back home. So now here at Edward Waters, I'm able to focus directly on my studies, and so I've been able to thrive academically, earning a 4.0 GPA here at Edward Waters.
Scholarships from UNCF, like those awarded to our local students, give them more time to focus on making an impact and being a leader. During this Black History Month, both students say the month serves as a reminder of the inspiring leaders we continue to celebrate within our community.
So as a Jamaican, Black history is a big thing, not just because of the history, but also the music associated with history.
As a 4th generation HBCU scholar and a 2nd generation Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated member, I truly embody the importance of Black history because my sorority was founded on, civil rights and scholarship and service and sisterhood. So it is truly an honor to be a part of so many different legacies.
In the mid-1800s, HBCUs were created to train teachers, preachers, and other community leaders. But that focus expanded in the 20th century, opening up new doors for students and creating an environment for them to explore and nurture their identity. A part of that culture was amplified by Black Greek letter organizations, or the Divine Nine. Black students established the sororities and fraternities at the height of segregation. Divine Nine members have been at the forefront of public service, including Martin Luther King Jr., former U.S. Representative Shirley Chisholm, and former Vice President Kamala Harris.
All around Jacksonville, Black businesses are thriving. Action News JAX Deja Borden introduces you to some who are celebrating Black history and serving our community.
Our first stop, JAX Bread Company. This restaurant has been serving up pastries, sandwiches, and loaves of bread on Bay Meadows Road for 7 years. The owner and executive chef, Nana Hammond, started the company as a way to feed her family and community healthier bread options.
Here at JAX Bread Co., we make sure that all our breads are like top 6 ingredients. And we add no preservatives, no potassium bromate, no preservatives, no additives, nothing at all. We make sure that our products are always clean.
Moving to the JAX Melanin Market, a cultural hub and marketplace that highlights Black-owned businesses. At each event, Black culture resounds up and down A. Philip Randolph Boulevard. It's strategically placed in a historically Black corridor for businesses in the East Side community. One of the leaders of the Melanin Market, Anita Spencer, tells me the big goal is to impact families.
Our goal is that people come and from all walks of life, all backgrounds, come and try something different. You never know, you may find something that you may like, and I think our goal is to keep reaching people, to keep impacting families and businesses, because when you spend money with businesses, you spend money with that family.
Both businesses striving to pay homage to their ancestors and serve the future of the community. Deja Borden, Action News JAX.
Coming up, we honor the history makers and culture who we lost in 2024.
And we say our final goodbyes to our beloved Dawn Lopez as she retires from the news desk. Her message for future journalists.
You're watching an Action News JAX Family Focus special, celebrating Black history, past and present. Presented by Public Supermarkets, First Coast YMCA, and First Florida Credit Union.
We want to honor the lives of prominent Black entrepreneurs, actors, and athletes and trailblazers in the arts that we lost in 2024.
Finally, we celebrate a journalist who is near and dear to our hearts. Dawn Lopez just retired from the news desk after more than 25 years with Action News JAX. I got a chance to talk with her about the highlights of her career and her advice for future journalists.
We wanted to reflect for a little bit. What would you say out of 2 decades is one of the career highlights from being here at Action News JAX?
Sitting at the feet of our elders and hearing from them and their sacrifice, true sacrifice, those who have truly blazed the way for us, who have inspired me to get up early mornings. It made it easy for me.
What would your advice be to folks watching you now, looking at your career and then all the exciting things that are on the way for you? What would be your advice, particularly to other aspiring journalists?
When you're a journalist, you know, it may look fun, it may look glamorous, but you have a responsibility. There's a huge responsibility that we have. And we really do work hard to make sure that those who are in the newsroom and those who are behind us take it seriously. We are multifaceted as people. Do all the things, have all the things, aspire for all the things, reach high for it, but work in excellence.
Dawn, you are excellent.
I pray so.
And you have inspired excellence in us. Thank you for pulling it out of us.
I hope so.
And thank you for expecting it from us.
That's right.
Thank you, Dawn.
And our own Dawn Lopez leaving a blueprint for journalists across Duval. And it's our hope you learn more about the rich Black history in the place we call home.
And that journey sparking inspiration in Black history, past and present.